Hi there and welcome to Slices from the Paper, which takes one piece from the Cape Indian newspaper and looks at it. In this episode, I want to look at the article "Replacing Standards with Diversity Leads to Decline." Most people in South Africa are not aware of this, but by replacing standards with diversity, we're setting ourselves up to become irrelevant and replaceable. Diversity, equity and inclusion, DEI, is a central pillar of the woke movement because it replaces standards with loyalty and slop. The way it works is that claiming to fight for justice or integration or safe spaces or equity or inclusion, among other coded flowery words, these give moral immunity to those who advance the agenda. They can do what they want because of justice. In woke, public displays of virtue are used to evade responsibility. This creates a perverse incentive. Attach one's ambition to so-called justice causes and in doing so secure a deep immunity from consequences. The end is a drop in standards and slop. When ideology such as DEI becomes a substitute for high standards like being on time and so on, accountability weakens and slop spreads. History offers many reminders. In the 20th century, authoritarian regimes such as the National Socialists, Stalinism, Maoism, they all incentivized loyalty over competence. Advancement followed ideological conformity rather than performance to predictable economic and institutional decline, chaos. This is why diversity, it's a dumb idea in the sense of replacing standards with diversity is a dumb idea. By committing your business, church, organization, school, university, or political party to DEI, you guarantee decline. There are negative consequences tied to DEI. A compelling example is the state of US universities today. In a piece for Independent Institute, Victor Hansen says that many American universities have allowed woke activism, in other words DEI, to replace their traditional academic missions. Once respected for scientific excellence, these institutions now suffer from anti-scientific trends that spread into STEM fields. Remember STEM? Remember when it was a thing here in Cape Town and South Africa? We've just forgotten about STEM because obviously DEI has come in. It has eroded confidence in these institutions. Despite accumulating massive amounts of money, these universities face growing mistrust because they provide no standards that prove that the students are actually educated. The perception is that campuses have become politicized, therapeutic spaces where ideological conformity matters more than knowledge. This sounds like Southern Africa, right? By replacing standards for diversity, many American universities are censoring dissent while refusing any introspection about plunging credibility. Now, I want to warn you that if your town, your business, your organization, your church, your community, if they embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion, then your organization will make itself disliked, disreputable, and ultimately irrelevant and replaceable. It will become slop. By replacing standards with DEI is a one-way ticket to the end of it. And by the way, it's impossible to pursue both standards and diversity. You have to pick one. And so I advise standards: being on time, following some kind of dress code, being quiet, all these kinds of fantastic standards. So that is something to think about today. Please do subscribe to the channel. And I will see you again on the next Slices from the Paper.